Developing tonight, a jury has awarded a big payout to a pair of Muslim truck drivers who were fired after refusing to deliver alcoholic beverages, citing their religious convictions. The Obama administration actually represented the two Muslims in this case, but has sometimes taken a very different position in the case of Christians trying to assert their religious beliefs. Judge Andrew Napolitano is our Fox News senior judicial analyst. Judge, good to see you.
Good to be with you.
So when it comes to the Muslim truck drivers, the Obama administration through the EEOC is all in. They have been wronged, and this is what they said. We are proud to support the rights of workers to equal treatment in the workplace without having to sacrifice their religious beliefs or practices. It's fundamental to the American principles of religious freedom and tolerance. But when it comes to the Christian bakers, it's not as fundamental.
Correct. It's unfortunate when the government interferes in a private dispute over religious views and takes sides and chooses one religion over another. The EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, is appointed by the president, goes around the country with investigators and decides where do the workers need to be represented.
Yep.
Why do they pick a situation like this, where they are outwardly, openly representing Muslims who knew before they took the job that they would be delivering alcoholic beverages? Why take a job that is against your religion?
This is the same argument that the critics of Kim Davis made, the county clerk who wouldn't issue the marriage licenses to same-sex couples, well, to any couple, but it was about the same-sex couples, saying, why did she take the job? If you can't do the job, don't take the job. Very different position from the same people who are now defending the Muslims.
Correct, but in that situation, I think she should have passed that obligation to issue the same-sex marriage licenses on to somebody else.
She should have been granted an accommodation based on her religious beliefs, as the Muslims should have. But you either are sort of with them or you're against them on these religious accommodations.
Well, that's what's wrong with this with them or against them. I don't like the idea of the government getting involved. These are private disputes in which the government has no interest. When the government picks and chooses winners and losers, it chooses specific private disputes, it decides which one to side on. We always have an imbalance, an improper allocation of taxpayer resources, and ultimately, Megan, I hate to say this, decisions based on a political model rather than a moral model.
Political bias comes up. Now, the law is generally you have to give a religious accommodation, an accommodation to somebody asserting a religious belief, unless it's too burdensome, right? If it's like, look, we can't. We never, the route is the route. Drive it and deliver the Schlitz.
Yes, in this case, with the truck drivers, the jury, that's a beer, Schlitz.
Whatever.
Right.
It's booze.
Or is it Schmitz? No, it's Schlitz.
I don't know. We got to booze it up more, Judge.
In this case, the jury found that there were routes that did not have beer on them, and they should have given it to these guys.
Right.
But the way the feds intervened in the case, they wanted this case because they wanted to make the point that they've now made.
And they championed the religious accommodation. However, when it comes to Kim Davis, who didn't want to issue the same-sex marriage licenses, or the Christian bakers who don't want to make the cake, there's no such thing as a religious accommodation, and the government's out of it.
When you work for the government, when you're a public official, and you don't like the job you have to do because you have a religious objection,
you can still get an accommodation.
Correct. Look,
Title VII applies to public and private. I gotta go.
Applying for abortions in my courtroom. I didn't deny it. I sent it to another judge because I couldn't live with myself.
Who was applying for an abortion in federal court, in New Jersey court?
Applying for permission for an abortion under unique circumstances.
Oh, okay.
They knew not to assign the case to me, but they did. My job's not to stop the abortion. My job is to enforce the law consistent with my conscience.
Now we've really taken a walk down memory lane. It's gone to a weird place. Great to see you.
When I was on the bench, you were in law school.
I was in my crib. I wish.
Love you.
Love you, my dear.